Okay, Graeme, a couple of days on now from the brilliant events of last weekend in the Cup. Have you come back down to earth yet?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, look, it's been fantastic. It was a fantastic weekend, a fantastic week with the cups. But no, yeah, soon as Saturday was out the way and you wake up Sunday, you start focusing on what the plan is for the week to build it in for Bristol Rovers. So yeah, I enjoyed Saturday, and like I said, and the week was fantastic. It's a great distraction from the league, but the league's the most important for me now. So the focus has been straight back on Bristol Rovers.
Just before we talk about Bristol Rovers, the draw, obviously, Premier League side away from home. What do you feel about that?
Look, it's I think a fantastic draw. I think when you get where we are and we get a cup run like we have, it's sort of a reward to a day where we're going to go out, we're going to a Premiership, and we're going to challenge ourselves against some of the best players in England at the moment. So it's fantastic. It's going to be brilliant on the occasion, but we'll enjoy every moment of it, and we'll be going out there to try and cause an upset if we can.
And it's brilliant, the profile that it brings the club, just with interest from national media and things like that, isn't it? Wanting to talk to you, wanting to talk to the players.
Yeah, definitely. Like being inundated from messages, congratulations, and want to speak to us and the players as well. And like I said, it's like that's what the cup's about. It's amazing. Both cups have been fantastic, and the challenges we've had with the teams we've played, we've showed what we can do, and that's my main thing now, is take these games, these performances into the league, and I'm sure if we do that, we're gonna win some games.
Obviously, January is a busy month off the field as well, or you certainly hope that it is, and that's got underway for you this week as well. A couple of new arrivals, Jake Cullen, Marcus Carver. Just tell us a little bit about them.
Marcus Carver's look, I've spoke to Southport manager Liam Watson many times. He's judged on players, and what he's brought through over the years has been fantastic. We've watched him, we've had him watched, we've seen what he's all about. He can lead the line, he works, he's an honest lad, he works his socks off for the team, and he's scoring goals. He's scored 17 so far before Christmas, so something we wanted to get in, we wanted to get done, and we're delighted that the lad, from even meeting him, his character and everything about him just fits exactly what we want. So it's been delight to get Marcus in, and then Jake Hull. Again, we looked at areas what we wanted to be a bit more dominant in the air when we can. We looked through very close friends in Rotherham regarding Matty Amshaw, first team coach, and Paul Warren's been fantastic. Highly recommended player. Again, we have to watch him myself. We've had live viewings. We've watched him in the Papa Johns and different, and he's coped fantastically well in them games. He's looked good. So he's one way, again, coming in, and we're delighted to get him in. He's shown in training straight away how dominant he can be, but also that he can play as well. So it's good. 2 exciting times for us.
And presumably those two come into immediate contention for the weekend?
Yeah, like every player, they're all in contention, and like I said, today we're building in our little bit of prep, and hopefully we'll see how the lads shape up within that.
I know everything seems to be linked to the cup runs at the moment, but I'm just wondering that in January, when you're having such a good run in the FA Cup, when you're having such a good run in the trophy as well, does that help in trying to attract people to the football club?
I'd say so, definitely. Yeah, the calls I've probably had this week from various clubs and different agents, and the calibre of player or the clubs these players are now at a higher level of where Man United and different people are talking for now. So if that's from the cup run, then brilliant. If it's just that's the agents looking to get their players out, I couldn't tell you which way it went. But yeah, look, it is. I think people see that, they see the games, how we're playing now against these teams, and probably does open the door for a little bit more for us.
It's a bit of a big game, isn't it, in the context of the league for you this weekend, because you've had a couple of games off. You've had those couple of 0-0 draws at home in the league, in amongst all the cup fever and all of that. So this is a big match with you quite evenly matched in the table, both sides.
Yeah, look, Bristol Rovers good to that. It's hard. You're watching the previous games, but they've had one cup game in between. I think the last game they played was about the 8th of December or 11th of December, what it was. So They had a good win against Rochdale. Every game I've watched, they're in games, they're matching teams, they're a strong outfit, they've made a couple of signings. So it's going to be tough, we know it's going to be tough. And like I said straight after the game on Blackpool game, straight after the game, I said that second half performance is where we need to be and our standards we need to be at. And we can't just raise our game for cup games. It has to be the same no matter what, whoever we're playing. So that's been the focus this week and it'll be the focus going into the game.
And it's a long old trek down there. How does your preparation change for that?
We've got a venue probably about 3 or 4 hours up the road to get. So we'll travel down early. We'll get off. We'll have our training session. A fantastic venue we've managed to get, and then we'll do our match prep. We'll do our work, and then off to the hotel and relax, eat lots of food, and be ready for Saturday afternoon.
The way that the table is, I mean, a few decent results. You've got Bristol Rovers the weekend, Carlisle away on Tuesday, and you could be right back in the thick of things, couldn't you? Because every team's the same. They've had postponements, they've had bad runs or whatever. So it's not as if the playoff places have gotten away from you.
No, look, we're always looking forward. We want to progress, but again, I think every manager will say it's each game. Bristol Rovers is the biggest focus for me. It's an opportunity, like you said, on the back of 2 great cup games to put another performance in, and that's what it's about. Improving our performances in the league and having that belief in the league that we should be winning games and we can be winning games, and if we do that, you never know where we're going to end up.
And in terms of the squad, I mean, you had headaches last week. You've added 2 people to the squad. Presumably, you welcome headaches continuing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's continued all week. So look, I've been assessing the players, how they trained this week, how they reacted from it. Obviously, the performance in the second half gives you a little bit of a base of what you're looking at. But look, there's new players in. There's players who back from injuries and fighting and training well. So yeah, look, I've got good headaches and hopefully they'll continue.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Joe Ramage, Hartlepool.
Hi Graeme, how's it going?
Hi Joe, you okay mate?
You mentioned Marcus Carver there. How's he settled into training? Has he been finding the back of the net?
The first game training session was Tuesday. Look, they've come in. You can see the attitude straight away is good. He's straight in with the lads. He's mixed with the lads. He likes to get to know people, but he's trains hard. He trains with an intensity. He's probably obviously not come from full-time football, so his match fitness will be one of our main areas. What we need to do to get him up to speed to where our lads are. But his attitude and everything, straight away you can see how he wants to work and how he wants to play.
J. Cole's an interesting one as well because you came in, you wanted to tighten things up. You've got a few clean sheets. Obviously, forced himself into a side that are defending quite well, isn't it? Yeah,
no, look, he's got a challenge. We said that when he came in. He's got a challenge to come in. He gives us that little bit of height, a little bit of dominance. So he'll impact at some point, if it's this weekend or if not. But he's someone who coming in who's going to add. He's added strength to the defensive line. Like I said, the lads have been defending. Like I said, we've got some clean sheets in the league, and we want to build on that. So it's not disrupting everything, but everyone knows that you're fighting for places, and you've got to push each other. And the group of lads we've got do that.
We spoke a lot about incomings, as I'm sure we will for the rest of the month as well. But do you expect any players to leave the club this month?
Look, discussions have had both ways, ins, outs, if there is. So yeah, look, we've had discussions. I've said there'll be areas where we want to improve on, and there's areas where lads will probably want to go get game time themselves. So it's in discussions at the moment, but nothing concrete. No one's going to be forced to leave. It's just if they think they need to get game time.
One player whose future is a little bit uncertain at the minute is Jonathan Mitchell. Is there any update on his contract situation?
No, there's like I said, John got offered something, and his decision at the moment's not clear. So we're looking, obviously, in that area at the moment to bring somebody in if we can.
Does that mean you have to wrap Ben Killip up a little bit in cotton wool?
Yeah, probably. But now Ben's doing well at the moment as well. So there's people in already training with us. We were asking we're getting videos and other things sent to us, so we've got a few options. We're just making sure, again, it's not a rushed decision. We want to make sure the right one comes in.
Are there any other players who are on sort of short-term deals or deals that might be coming up that you have to think about over the next couple of weeks?
No, look, we've had, I think the only one's Mike Fondop's contract comes up, which I've had discussions with Mike this week. So Mike, he knows what the area is, and we'll all find out soon.
You talked about the league there, I'll switch back onto that. It is an important 7 days really for you, isn't it, against 3 sides who have below you in the table. I know you'll just be 1 game at a time, but yeah, it's a good opportunity to get some more points on the board, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. Look, it is 1 game at a time. I'm looking at, like I keep saying, I look at the performance in the second half last week, and I'm now looking and demanding that same performance going into the Bristol Rovers game. And if we do that, we're going to be in games. We're going to give ourselves a chance. You've seen the Oldham game. You can start well, you can create chances, but we have to put the ball in the back of the net. And like I said, that's why we're trying to bring in them areas. Some players who might be able to do that for us, but we've got to finish teams off when we're in the game, when we've got them opportunities. We obviously took our chances fantastically well against Blackpool. We hung in first half, but took the opportunity when it come, and we've got to be like that going into the league games, and that's where we're going to be focused on.
Team news for Saturday: is any injuries or any sort of COVID issues with the squad?
At the moment, no. We're testing as we speak, so hopefully I'll get no changes regarding that. But no, there's just Jordan Cook still out injured at the moment, but apart from that, everyone else is back involved.
And just the last one for me, Mark Cullen got a good 60 minutes under his belt coming back last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, look, he's been off. He had a tough week at home. Thankfully, his wife's on the mend now, so it's given back. So he was back in again on Tuesday. But yeah, he had a tough week, and it was hard. It was hard when any player misses a certain amount of training to be up to speed straight away. So it was just cautious with him how much we could get out of him.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Graeme.
Thank you. Yes.
Matty Jones.
Morning, Graeme. You
Morning.
okay?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Can I just ask about Jordan Cook? Do you have a time scale on his injury at the minute?
Hopefully he's progressing well, so hopefully the next week or so he should be back into training or modified training. And then you don't want to push anything regarding muscle injuries. We have to be cautious with it. We did have a time frame of 1 to 2 weeks. He is progressing well. I spoke to him the other day and he was happy with the way it was going, so hopefully he might integrate it back into training next week.
If I could ask you about Eddie Jones as well, obviously he was due back for talks with Stoke. What was the nature of kind of how that discussion went, and obviously the result being that he's not coming back to Pils?
It was obviously Stoke have got their development pathways for their players. They send them on loan, they want them to be playing games, they want them to be developing. They just felt if he wasn't going to be starting week in, week out, then they were going to bring him back, assess him how he is. He went back, he trained with the first team, they were very happy with him. And they just said to me, if there's any change, if he's going to start and week in, week out, then obviously he can come back, or if he's needed. But I think they're looking to get him on a loan, what's going to give him more game time. I said to him, look, it's difficult. I rated Eddie well, and if he got in the team, he would have been tough to get out. But Fergie was been in since I came here, and his performances have been good, and his second half performance, especially the other day, was where Fergie needs to be at. So he had a challenge, and obviously Stoke, I think it's fair to them. They want to protect their players. They want to make sure they're getting some game time and use the loans for their benefit. So yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I would have been happy to keep Eddie because of what he is, and I knew if he came in the team, he wouldn't have let us down. He showed that against Bolton. But no, unfortunately, like I said, it gets taken out your hands at sometimes.
I suppose when you're striking loan deals, that's the fine balance you've got to kind of toy up with, haven't you? You know, you've got to sell to these clubs that they're going to get game time, and then you've got to ensure that the right person you're bringing in.
Yeah, look, I've been on the other side of the clubs and giving the young lads loans. It's difficult, and you used to always try and look at the loan deals when you're on the other side. Is like when a club really wants a loan player, you know he's going to be coming in to start. So it's a difficult one. I know what Eddie's all about now. I've seen Eddie, so if there was any question marks regarding the left back position, I have no hesitations to ring Stoke and say, look, he'll come in and he'll play. But at the moment he had a challenge on his thing, and that's why they brought him back. So it's difficult. Obviously, players will come in, you don't know how they're going to respond within that first team environment if they haven't been in the first team environment. So it's hard for a manager or anyone to say they're going to come in and guarantee them game time. It's just they come in and they've got to fight for the place.
And just kind of on the transfer front, is everything kind of progressing well how you would want it, or?
Yeah. Look, we like I said, we had targets early. We brought the 2 lads in, and we've got more targets. What we want, but there's, like I said, I keep saying, we don't want to be in a rush. We don't want to just force a player in for the sake of bringing a player in. It's making sure the right players come in the door. And sometimes you have to be patient. If you've got a target in mind and there's a possibility, then you might have to be patient with that.